My name is Janay Yancey. I am the head volleyball coach at University of Tennessee Southern. I'd applied to University of Tennessee Southern for the volleyball coach position back in January of last year, so 2022. I would say that honestly, you have to put yourself out there. This is something where it was a little bit a step out of my bounds, only because I've been thinking about becoming a head coach again, and my best friend, Melissa Robinson, had basically told me, like, hey, like, just go for it, just apply. And a lot of what I've learned, not just with being within coaching, but being a Black woman, was the offers you don't go for, you don't know whether you get them or not. And majority of the time, the reason people aren't looking for us is because we're not putting ourselves out there. So what I would tell anyone is apply and be okay with rejection. My mother and my father always told me there's nothing wrong with someone telling you no. It's the fact that you don't ask, and so then you don't know the answer. So, of course, whatever you thought it was going to be, you're correct about that. So I would say always just apply. The first step was me applying, getting my cover letter together, my references, and my resume together was basically took a day. I would say get it done once a year, like redo it. But taking the time to actually sit down and doing the application process was the hardest and the easiest thing that needed to get done. And then after everything else, it was interview, visit to the campus, and then eventual acceptance. So it was an amazing ride, and I'm happy to be here. Too many, too many. I would say very first one, and I know this is crazy, Kiki Deckard. So she played at Middle Tennessee State University, and she was an amazing outside. I remember watching, my dad took me to a game when I was 12 years old, and I did not know a lot about volleyball, although I'd only probably been playing for a year. And it was so awesome. The gym was packed and the crowd was wild, and she was killing it. And I said two things. I told my dad, I said, I want to be just like her. And then the second thing was, I want to play at Middle Tennessee State. just from the atmosphere, and every time she got a kill, it was like crowd going wild. And I practically never missed a game. That was probably one of the reasons why I ended up going to Middle, was because just the atmosphere and like what you could feel what the team brought and what she brought to the floor. Black History Month, honestly, it's an everyday thing for me. It's one of those things where we remember where we've come from, but what I was taught and how I was brought up was Black History Month was big for us within my family, but it was just an everyday, like my parents teaching me different things. Whether it was about Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks, we know about those people, but other people like Madam C.J. Walker, or reading Toni Morrison books, or reading Octavia E. Butler books. Those connections, and even how our family was shaped in that as well, was important. So it's more of a everyday thing. Huge celebration during the month, but we always bring up those conversations, and we have like an everyday type conversation. But we really focus on definitely where our family was impacted, whether it be from the 1930s on, so like civil rights, and I know my mom's side did a big migration from Mississippi up to Michigan. Dad's side of the family moved from West Virginia to Michigan, so really it was just like that northern-southern mix, and understanding how our family was impacted during that time.